ये देख देखिए ऐसा दिखता है।
हाउ मच चालू करा 52 आहेत ना.
हेलो.
नहीं
Emilia, ma'am, has the guest joined?
Yes, it's time now.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir. I'm just
Has the
checking.
Vice Chancellor joined?
I'm checking, sir. 1 second.
Please check, otherwise call her.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We will start it now.
Sir, let's just check whether she is joined. 1 second.
Please check.
I can't see her. I can't see Professor Nirja.
अरे रॉक्स पे लिंक भेजा है
ग्रुप में भी डाला है. रॉक्स पे नहीं पता मुझे, मैं तो उसमें ग्रुप में से ज्वाइन कर.
Sir,
Requesting all to please mute yourself, participants.
Principal sir, could you just send her again the link? She said she will join on time. Requesting all to please send.
Hello.
So
Akanksha
Nirja
ma'am.
ma'am has joined. Nirja
She has already joined. Please start. Please
Yes,
start.
Yes, sir.
Emilia ma'am.
Emilia ma'am started. Please.
Sir, could I say? Okay, 1 second, sir. Let me. Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay. A very warm welcome to each one of you at this inaugural session of the 8-day online faculty development program on the topic cross-cutting issues and sustainable development, new avenues of research and research methodology in commerce, humanities, and science, organized by the Lions Club of Malad Borivali College Charity Trust, Prahlad Dalmia Lions College of Commerce and Economics, Mumbai, and Rajmata Jijao Mahavidyalaya, Kille Darur, in collaboration with Research Foundation of India, New Delhi, and National Institute of Foreign Trade, Mumbai. We are honored to have here with us Honorable Professor Dr. Neerja Gupta, Vice Chancellor of Gujarat University, Ahmedabad, as our chief guest and keynote speaker. We extend a warm welcome to you, Madam. It is indeed a great opportunity to have with us a large number of our academic fraternity on this digital platform come together for this continued learning process. The highlights of this faculty program are as follows: to explore capacity building programs for teachers and students and other stakeholders for all-round sustainable development, to create, to construct, and deconstruct a nexus of good for cross-sharing of the best practices with cross-cutting issues in curricular, co-curricular fields in humanities, commerce, and science. I request everyone to keep themselves muted and keep their videos off. Let us begin with the program on an auspicious note by invoking the blessings of Goddess Saraswati. I request the technical team to kindly play the Saraswati Vandana.
या श्वेत पद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युत शंकर प्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निशेष जाड्यापहा.
Thank you. I now request Professor Dr. D.N. Ganjivar, Principal of Lions Club of Malad Borivali College Charity Trust, Prahlad Dalmia Lions College of Commerce and Economics, to give the welcome address.
Thank you, ma'am. Honorable Professor Dr. Neerja Gupta, Vice Chancellor, Gujarat University, Ahmedabad. Honorable Principal Dr. G.K. Kakre, sir, Principal, Rajmata Jijao Mahavidyalaya, Kille Darur Beat. First of all, I welcome you all for this 8 days faculty development program on cross-cutting issues and sustainable development, new avenues of research and research methodology in commerce, humanities, and science. It's a great pleasure for us that under the MOU that we have compiled under the IQAC Research Center and Faculty Development Cell, we are organizing this activity in this academic year. I welcome specifically those to our students, researchers, and our faculty for whose content knowledge we are making this effort. Friends, it is the need of the hour that the learning and teaching should be online, because as per NEP norms, we have to take 40% of the theory and moreover 60% of the teaching and learning process online. Day by day, the central government and UGC is focusing on the online platform. We also should have the content enhancement of our cross-cutting issues and sustainable development. Moreover, we also should focus upon various new avenues of research and research methodology in the multidisciplinary setup. Without taking any more time on your behalf, because we are going to listen to our chief guest and inaugurator, come keynote addresser, Professor Dr. Neerja Gupta. Once again, I welcome you, ma'am, in this online platform. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. I now request Dr. G.K. Kakre, Principal of MSc Mandals, Rajmata Jijau Mahavidyalay, Kille Darur, to please address us.
Good evening to all. Myself, Principal Dr. G.K. Kakde from Rajmata Jijau Mahavidyalay Kille Dharur. I welcome you all on behalf of Praladlai Dalmia Lions College of Commerce and Economics and Rajmata Jijau Mahavidyalay Kille Dharur for this FDP in collaboration with Research Foundation of India, New Delhi, National and also National Institute of Foreign Trade, Mumbai, for this 8 days online faculty development program, which is entitled Cross-Cutting Issues and Sustainable Development, New Avenues Research and Research Methodology in Commerce, Humanities and Science. Friends, once again, good evening to all. I welcome you all in all the esteemed dignitaries, esteemed faculty members, and dear participants. I am very happy to welcome you all to this much awaited faculty development program on cross-cutting issues and sustainable development, new avenues of research and research methodology. As educators and researchers, we are the pathfinders of knowledge, and our ability to meet contemporary challenges depends on how well we adapt, innovate, and equip our views with new methodologies. Today, our focus is on a topic that is not only timely but also important: sustainable development. Sustainable development, which balances economic growth, environmental care, and social equity, is the backbone of addressing the global issues we face, from climate change to resource scarcity, poverty, and social justice. In the focus of these challenges um, are themes such as gender equality, human rights, and global health that span a wide range of fields and disciplines. They demand interdisciplinary approaches, innovative research methods, and collaborative efforts. The program aims to engage with these complex but important issues and find new avenues of research that contribute to sustainable future for all. Our goal is to sharpen our research skills, extend our perspectives, and distill new insights that will not only enrich our individual work but also the broader academic and social context in which we work. It will provide a platform for faculty development program experts and participants alike to explore important research methodologies and frameworks that can be applied to address cross-cutting issues through a sustainable lenses. Our Over the next few days, you will be explored to discuss case studies and practical workshop led by experts from different fields. I encourage all participants to actively engage, exchange their ideas, and collaborate, as this program is designed not only to provide knowledge but also to foster a community of like-minded research dedicated to effective solution-driven work. I would like to express my gratitude to all the organizers, especially my friend Dr. D.N. Ganjewar sir, uh, also the other collaborative principals, speakers, especially in speaker, as I am the chemistry discipline, science discipline that is chemistry subject, especially Dr. Vijay Masan sir and participants who have come together to make this event possible. Let us make the most of this opportunity to grow, reflect, and contribute to sustainable development through innovative research. Once again, welcome to this exciting journey of learning and discovery. Uh, Thank you, and I look forward to further meaningful discussion and results. Thank you once again, and enjoy your FDP till the end and be engaged with your full discussion, full interaction, and uh, be joined till the end. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We are indeed very glad to have with us our chief guest and keynote speaker, Honorable Professor Dr. Nirja Gupta, Vice Chancellor of Gujarat University.
Hello.
I request Ms. Anushka Kamble to introduce our esteemed chief guest and keynote speaker.
Thank you, Dr. Amelia, ma'am. It is my honor to introduce a distinguished academic personality, an exceptional leader, and an inspiring woman, Professor Dr. Nirja A. Gupta. Dr. Gupta currently serves as the Vice Chancellor of Gujarat University, bringing with her over 36 years of remarkable academic, research, and administrative experience. Her illustrious career has seen her in key roles, including her former position as Vice Chancellor of Sanchi University and the Principal of Bhavans College, Gujarat. Dr. Gupta's contributions extend beyond administration. She is a prolific author with 22 books and over 60 publications to her name, and has mentored 27 PhD students. Her expertise spans literature, Indology, migration studies, and Gandhian thought, to name a few. Fluent in 11 languages and trained in classical dance, Dr. Gupta exemplifies well-rounded excellence. Her leadership extends globally, having visited 42 countries and contributing to international dialogues, including her role in the abrogation of Article 370 in Jammu and Kashmir. As a recipient of numerous prestigious awards, including the Bharat Kirtiman Padak and Aaj Ka Karmavir Award, Dr. Gupta's impact on education and society is truly unparalleled. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Nirja A. Gupta.
Thank you, Anushka. I now request Honorable Professor Dr. Nirja Gupta, Vice Chancellor of Gujarat University, to render the keynote address.
Thank you. Namaste. A very good evening to all the participants. Honorable Principal Dr. Gopal Kakreji, the person who is responsible to bring me here, Dr. Gangawati. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing correctly. And dear participants, which includes the respected principals of the organizing and associated colleges and faculty members. It's just by chance that I'm on this side of the table, I would say. Otherwise, we are all researchers. We are all sailing together in this academic field where primarily we are known for teaching, but our aspirations are always to become a researcher. With this anticipation, I would thank first of all for making it possible for me to be amidst you. I know this entire shift in today's vocabulary, where we add the word sustainable to everything that we are doing, is slightly challenging as far as the research is concerned. Because till now, we have not been able to create a sustainable society. Once the sustainable society is created, then only we can carry out the researches that what form of sustainable society, what form of environment, what form of gender equality, what form of other study circles should evolve in the academia. But this is the challenge the academicians always face, and we are ready to take over. That the moment the concept is launched, we are expected to carry out the research. which I think is a very, very happy thing because we love the innovation, we love the new things, we love the way society looks at us, and perhaps we have to give them the solutions. So I would like to, bring to forth that my today's deliverance will have a journey. When I say journey, it includes something which is there in the academia as well as something which is beyond academia. And what is beyond academia? Let me start from that. And then I have a very small PPT also. If you all wish, we can share that also, which will give an extended vision that what is the new research? What is this new expectation? What is this sustainability which must be rooted in our own knowledge systems? So, as I said, let me start from the past. And the only sustainable thing till date I have found out is the story. The story is the most sustainable thing. And that is what we find everywhere. Whether we are talking about our traditions, whether we are talking about our policies, about our strategies, about our curriculum, about our narratives, wherever we go, we find stories. But what type of a story? What the research does with the story? See, the the action of research is that when I tell his story, then it becomes history. And when I tell my story, it becomes mystery. I would repeat again. When I tell his story, it becomes history. And when I tell my story, it becomes mystery. Now, what is the difference? What is the difference between history and mystery? Why I have to categorize that in this manner? The only difference is about the objectivity and the subjectivity. When I'm subjective, then it is not called a research object. Then it is called passion, it is called emotion, it is called personal experience. But the moment I say his story, that means I am an observer. I'm looking at like an object and I'm analyzing it, I'm testing it, I have a research content behind it, and then I'm trying to find out the truth. So the history and mystery, they are the stories of our civilization. That is why entire study field, whatever we say, is very sustainable the moment we combine both, because it can never take place in isolation. We can't be
Unmuted.
objective all the time, as well as we can't be subjective all the time. So starting from here, because it's a multidisciplinary FDP where we have people from arts, commerce, and science, I think I need to weave a lecture which would appeal to everyone and they are motivated to undertake the research as it is. I give you a few examples. Uh, we will come to the theory a bit later. First is to gear up to this word sustainable. As I said, story is the most sustainable thing. I would now prove it out how it becomes sustainable. So there is a village in Gujarat, and each village has some temples. These temples, we think they belong to deities. But actually, if you go and study the stories of temples, they don't belong to only the deities, they belong to communities, they belong to families, they belong to a legacy. So each temple has a legacy. And certain type of people are joined with those temples. Now, when I'm telling you the story of a temple in Gujarat, it's a very interesting case study of research. Uh, this particular temple belonged to one community. And when I met the people over there, I came to know that the moment the boy or girl of that particular community becomes a graduate, the temple gives that boy or girl 25 to 30 lakh rupees. This rupee is given to them to migrate to America. And same day, a message is flashed to that community saying that this boy and this girl is ready. They have now been graduated, they are coming, and you have to help them in settling down. Within a day, that community remits back $500, $1,000, $200, $50, whatever is their capacity, back to the hundi of the temple. Now, why should we be interested in this story? We have to understand that this is called community migration system, where the entire community cycles the finances and also cycles the future migration. And when we say a temple is the key role player in all this migration story, then it means that the spiritual economy modules are very much there, which don't stop only to become a mala seller or prasad seller or a festival celebration like that. They play a larger role when we talk about the economy, and this is how the economies are recycled in the societies. The stronger is the society, the stronger is their economy. So this is how we can understand why India has a better sustainable economy than other countries. Why India is not hit by what we say the mandi, the low period of economy. We don't uh, depend more on the local banks or the financial organizations. Our families, the societies, our communities, they are sufficient enough to sustain that financial burden or financial pressure. This is just one type of uh, story I can tell you. Now, what we can do in academia? In academia, on one hand, we can do the comparative how our diaspora communities are sustaining back the economy of our country and how our country is moving ahead with other models. One thing what we are missing in the academic, which I think is the right platform today to talk it about, is look around in the society and see where the research is not being done. We all know that today there is a lot of talks about artificial intelligence. People say that in next 20 years, 80 million jobs will be curbed and they will be replaced by about 90 million jobs of AI. So there is a shift. There is no dearth of the jobs, but the nature of job will be changed. When we talk of AI jobs, what are we talking about? AI is nothing but the data. But are we ready with the data? Are we ready to fix up a design of the data? Because AI will give you the information only that much which has been fed to the machine. If we fail to feed our information, then this machine will not give us the correct information. And I give you the another example. If you look at the society all around, we find that every month there is a new bank. And these banks are very different from the other natural banks. So, what are these banks? Mostly these banks are the gold loan banks. Now, gold loan means that if I need money for my business, if I need money for marriage, if I need money to build a house, then I have some gold and I'll just mortgage the gold and then get the money. But the fact we are missing here is in the houses, who has gold? Naturally, in the houses, females have gold. Now, this gold has come as a legacy. This gold has come as an investment. This gold has come as a purchase whether retail or bulk, but definitely it belongs to females. Now, when we say females own gold, when these gold loan banks are running, then on whose gold they are running? They are running on the females' gold. So when the question comes that what is the contribution of females into the economics of the country, then we miss out this entire angle about the gender equality, which may be more than the male equality when it comes to the mortgage of the property. Why it is important? It is important because this has sustained the local businesses, this has sustained the local startups. I'll come back to startup again because that is also another angle of today's sustainable growth and development and cross-cutting issues in the academia, because we have started driving ourselves with the banner sentences and fashionable taglines, but behind that is our age-old tradition, which are very much available in abundance outside in the society. So this area we have to include into our fields of study, whether we are students of arts, whether we are students of sciences, whether we are students of commerce, management, humanities in general. Unless we include this area into our fields, we are missing a very big quantum in the sustainable development. Now I'll come back to startup. Why we have to talk to a startup? We have to talk about the startup. Startup is not something, a small innovative idea which is given by the as POC or POV, and then some funding agency whom we really don't know, they come and then they finance that, and then we do a research that how many startups, how many new innovative ideas, how much of funding, how long they could sustain, what is the number of failures, what is the number of change of a startup. We are, struggling with the data. But the truth is that we had this particular tradition of startups right from the beginning. A person who would start a shop is as good as starting a startup. Entire family was involved there. So somewhere some uncle would invest into some part of facilities over there, someone would bring material, someone would look after when the boy or girl is not present in the house or at the shop. So there is a collaborative responsibility, and that is the reason to go together they would ensure that this startup should not fail. Today, the entire burden of the startup falls only to that innovator who might be a just young youth coming out of the colleges, maybe a somewhat a mature person, but who stands alone, dealing with the fundings of the unknown people, those who have the burden of paying back because it's all about the loan and not contribution. So the cross-cutting issues are many, and they cannot be defined only under two, three types of headings. So what do? We cannot depend upon only those tools, which tools are available in the form of written document. Research methodology can never be static. Research methodology has to be dynamic. It is just like the title of a thesis, which has these two phenomena. One is static, one is dynamic. Research methodology has to evolve according to the needs, according to the shape and nature of the what we say the case study, and according to the future requirement. We have to give the conclusion in the language that is required by the future generation. I give you one example, and this is a live example from Jammu and Kashmir. We all know that there were many incidents about the stone throwing. Now, do you remember when the last incident about the stone throwing happened? This might be past about 4 to 5 years. Since then, there is no stone throwing incident. Don't think anything happened just because of some political measure, unless the society gets ready. So it's a wonderful study how we have to understand and connect with the society, because now we are not the isolated academia. We have to sync with the society. So when this question was put to those small children who were pelting the stones, that why do you pelt the stones? They said, we have nothing to do after the school, because we live in the small houses. On the roads, there are patrolling going on with the armed forces. We have no place to go. So for us, is throwing a stone is just like throwing a ball. We enjoy. Now, the crux of the thing is that immediately good number of playgrounds were created, and then the students will go after the school to the playground. They were engaged in the activity. They were supposed to go there, and then there is a sustainable environment of positivism.
Piano
And
slowly.
that, sorry, is it some instruction for me? I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry, there was just a disturbance. Please, ma'am.
No issues. No, that's okay.
जाओ
So
बाहर जाके चले जाओ बाहर जाके
there
खेलो
is
वो बराबर
a
स्पेस मिलेगा जाओ बेडरूम में जो बाहर जाओ
there is a sustainable environment, and then we can't ignore these incidents, we can't ignore these stories, we can't ignore sitting in our departments, sitting in our colleges, sitting in our universities, missing them just like the newspaper headlines, because these are the research topics for the future. These are the solutions for the future. These are the, what we can say, the stories of preparedness. Now, from here, we can draw the solutions for the future problems. And that is what an academic researcher must do. We have to sync our field lines, our methodologies with the need of the society. Unless and until we connect us with the society, all our research will remain as the paper activity, as most of us today we are being limited to, and we feel very sorry about it, but we are not enjoying the research at all. We have to be a passionate researcher, an ardent researcher. Everywhere we have to see these scattered research topics. Another live example I'll give you. I used to go to the uh, Char Dham every year myself alone. And in one such trips, I wanted to have some money, and I told my driver to stop near some ATM. Now that person stopped me somewhere near Uttarkashi, and it was a very kacha hut, and in the kacha hut there was a SBI ATM, and I asked, will there be electricity? The person said, yes, yes, ma'am, it works very nicely. You can go and draw the money. I withdrew the money, whatever I wanted. And when I was coming out, I saw a small strip above the door of that ATM, India's richest SBI branch. Now, this sentence caught me. How come this Kacha Hut ATM be India's richest SBI branch? So I asked someone, I said, what is this? Where is the bank manager? They said, Gaon gaye hai. I said, when would he come? They said, he would come after a few hours. I sat there, I waited for the bank manager to come. In the evening, he came down to close down the bank branch. I asked, I said, sir, what is this? And he said, yes, ma'am, this is truth. This is India's richest SBI branch. And I said, how come? Please explain it to me. And then he said, this entire region near Uttarkashi has about 495 villages, and 90% or more than 90% of the population of these villages, they have migrated to Japan. They are working there as the daily wagers. So every day they ram it in this branch in Yale. And when you cumulate it, it becomes the one day's highest remittance in entire country. And if you Google, you will find the term mini Japan of Uttarakhand. The entire region is called mini Japan. Then when I moved out, I found that there are signboards from the shops. Shin is a word in Japanese which means new. So there is Shin hair cutting salon. There is Shin Pavan, this petrol pump. Like that, there was a blend of language which I would have missed totally if I had not come to know this fact. And then I did a major research project on how this sort of migration can bring the linguistic changes, infrastructural changes, changes in the strata of the society with a mere remittance of on the basis of daily wages. So wherever we look all around, uh, yeah, I'll come to the I'll come to the PPT. I just wanted to give a gear up to the things that there are stories all around. We have to bring them into our research because the curriculum is one part, but the research is another part. We have to understand that research is not same as teaching in the class about some syllabus, which I'm sure all of you know, but we hesitate in practicing all those things. Okay, so now let me just share my PPT. Okay, is it visible? Kindly confirm.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So when we come, what is new research? What is expected now from us as research? So we go ahead, and the very first thing which will help us in undertaking the research on the cross-cutting issues are creativity. And when we say creativity, that it includes even the methodology. Will come in future slides. What is change in methodology? Don't go for the book style of research. When we don't follow that, that is creativity. This is intuition as a strategic setup. We have to include both. We have to include the reality as well as we have to include the intuition while we create the hypothesis. That of course, usage of digital tools with proper validation of proof. You will say we all do that. We use the digital tools, for example, SPSS, we have certain softwares, but that is not validation. That is the tools to help us to do research. So what is validation? The validation is when we go wide and far, for example, some FM radio channels. For example, some big social media which is being used live, where we need to test our research that how this will be used in future. So somewhere the digital tools can be used. Literature reviews should not stop only as a mere formality, because literature reviews are a very, very important roadmap towards which our research should go in future. Then parallel retrieving theories. What is parallel retrieving theories will come in the future slides. Interdisciplinary is very important because we are not standing alone. All these stories that I shared till now, you can understand that whatever faculty you belong to, you can draw your own quantum and you can take ahead whether it is about finances, whether it is about systems, about setups, analysis based on self-knowledge, freedom and from format and innovativeness. When I say freedom from format, that means suppose you require certain things and no module setup. There are set types of research, for example, empirical, analysis, comparative, objective, and all. If none of them suit you, then you are free to evolve with your own research formats. Of course, the conclusion can never be close-ended. We cannot shut our research. It has to be a strategic conclusion which will take the thing further, which will be more useful for the society. And then the last thing is validating the truth that exists. That is always comparison, whether our research is more fruitful or less fruitful, we need to understand. Uh, Okay, before I come to this, can I ask you if you have any question about till now? Then I'll go ahead because now onwards I'll be shifting between our scriptures and the new requirements of the research.
Respected madam, you have explored and introduced the concept with your thorough study. We are very happy. Please proceed.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so what is needed? What are the primary content of research? It's it's not true when we say that research is a new idea. Systematic research started happening only post 18th century. Documentation starts only post 19th century. This is not true. When we say this is not true, then I have to prove that what is the truth. So I am quoting from Uddhav Gita. This is text number 18, shloka 18. See the content of research. So the first content is jnanam. It is with the knowledge that we have to conduct research. The second is vivek. Jnanam, viveko, nigmah, tapah. First is Gyan, second is Vivek, the third is Nigam. When we say Nigam, Nigam is the way how we can reach to the tapah. Pratyaksha, Atiham, Ath, Anumanam. Now here are the validation tools. We think that Pratyaksh is the only Praman. Pratyaksh is the only proof. Whatever we see or feel with our five senses, only that can be the truth. This is a very, very latest understanding which primarily comes from the West. But I can't say this is a Western thought because in Uddhav Gita they have included Pratyaksh. So it is not the Western thought, but the West has stopped here only that all the five senses gets involved. Anything that is the truth, that is the validated truth. What we say Pratyaksh is not the only tool. We have more pramanas. We have more tools. Now, what are those tools? Atih. Atih means history. And from where do we get history? We have written history. We have unwritten history. Written is okay. Scriptures are there. What is unwritten history? Unwritten history is the Smriti. Shruti and Smriti, which are spoken. And whatever is spoken is a story. So anything that we get like an archival praman in the form of oral history, that is part of Atih, written or unwritten. Then the third is Anuman. For us, Anuman is also a praman. For example, if we can't see till the far, but we can see a smoke. So with this smoke, we have an anuman that there should be fire. So that anuman will lead us to the truth. So the third is anuman. Then adyant. It should have an adi and it should have an ant. It cannot abruptly start. It cannot end abruptly. So adyantyorasya yadaiv keval. It must have the beginning and end, which means it must have a time factor, it must have a place factor, and it must have a factor of an actor. Someone is working from beginning to end in a given place for a given purpose. And yadaiv kevalam kalascha hetuscha tadev madhye. The research is the middle part. The middle stage is the creation's existence. When we say creation's existence, that this is a process to go towards the truth. If we understand the basic nature of research, that these are the quantums we have to carry in a research, our research results can never be wavy or deterred or uncertain. Now we come to certain definitions, and these definitions are universal. It's not just because they are written in Sanskrit, so they belong to only one type of faculty or discipline. These are universal. So the first is Ati Vyapt Avyapt. Ativyapt means you can expand it to as much as you want. Avyapt, avyapt means you can limit, concise. So you can write an abstract or you can write a whole thesis. Both is possible with the research. Asambhav dosharahitam lakshanam. Asambhav, which is not possible day in and day out. So you carry as part of research dosharahitam, where the research is complete. That means in the results, you won't find it faulty. With whatever way you validate, the result will be same. These are the lakshan. Then the second lakshan is aniyame niyamakarini paribhasha, which gives the regulated definition to all scattered elements. That is also called research. But the most beautiful example is alpaksharam asandigdham, which need not be put in many words. We don't have to create another war and peace. It can be alp akshar, chote aksharon mein, kam akshar mein. Asandigdham. There is no doubt. It is firm. It is true. It is very, very definite. Sarvad Vishwato Mukham. Sarvat, which has some content, which has substance. And Vishwato Mukham means universal. Everyone should accept that result. There is no debate on that result of the research. Astob man avadyancha. Astob means you can actually speak out. You can be vocal about it. It is not avyakta. I have done research, but I can't tell you. It is not like that. Then avadya. Avadya means there is no fault left now. You have researched the thing again and again and again to that level that it is parishkrit. It has become faultless. Sutram, sutra vido, vidu. Vidu is the Gyani. Gyani call Sutram the definition like that about the research. So this is the definition of research which we need to understand. They will only bring the sustainable results. We can't say that one day our result will be this and the second day we are able to change our research. This is the most tested, definition of a thesis. How the thesis should be judged. These are the elements we have to write thesis or correct thesis. So it should have these. I'm just reading the shlok and then we'll go to the definition. Upkram, upsangharo, abhyaso, apurvata, phalam, arthvadopapatti, chalingam, tatparya, nirnay. Come here. Upkram, upsanghar. There is a beginning and there is an end. Upsanghar is the conclusion. Upkram is the beginning where we have indexing. So from index to the conclusion, these are the very important part of a thesis. Then abhyas. Abhyas is research cannot be done in one. We have to do it again and again and again. We have to read and reread and revise like that. Apurvata. Apurvata means there should not be any plagiarism. It should not be done earlier by someone else, so it has to be unique. Phalam, there has to be a result. We just can't leave it in between and say, okay, this is research, I have done it. I don't mind if it doesn't give me any result. Arthvad. Arthvad is, it should bring in the meaning. It should not be meaningless. Uppatti. Uppatti means it should lead to further research. It cannot be closed conclusion research. There have to be the new idea generated from the conclusion. So it has a continuity of the research. Now, if you see, these are the cross-cutting issues in our society when what we are missing in our researches and that are not giving the solutions to the society. That's why we need to understand that the perception, we need to understand that the testimonies, what we choose, we should understand that our realizations, our self-knowledges, everything has to be objective. It has to be like an onlooker without being too many attachments. Okay, I'm not going to more Sanskrit part of it, but I'll tell you that how the mind perceives. There are three things. One is karan. There has to be a reason for doing research. Then karya. The object should be there which we have to do. And kartri. Kartri is the doer who has to do the thing. Anything which is missing out of here will not complete the research. I am giving you these very basic principles because unless we base our researches on this, we cannot come out with the genuine research or with original research. They will all appear like the part of the replicated or duplicated thing. I have come down to one shloka, and this shloka, you would be amazed to know that it contains the kunji to be successful. As you can see, this is a shloka from Bhagavad Gita. It is Adhyay number 18 and shloka number 14. We all become ambitious to become very successful in life, and we all try to find out how we can become successful, how we can portray this entire thing with success, how my research should be there for Nobel Prize, how it should become perfect. This is the key for that. There are 5 things. If we can take care of them, we can become successful in anything in giving solutions. Adhishthanam tatha karta, karanam cha prathak vidham, vividhascha prathak cheshta, daivam chaivatra panchamam. There are 5 things. The first is adhishthan. Adhishthan they call the body, but Adhishthan is also the organization where we work. Adhishthan is also the sansthan where we work. That is why in management, organization is a living entity. They call it organization, because it is just like body. It has different parts, and the parts, when they work together in symphony, in synchronization, then only it moves further and gets progress. So Adhishthan, the first thing is Adhishthan, the place where we have chosen to work, whether it is the right place or we should change the place. Wherever we are working, do we really enjoy working in the place or not? The society for which we are trying to bring in solution, is it the right society? Is it the right study? Or is my body in the right shape, synced with the entire world? That is Adhishthan. So the very first thing we need to check is our body in sync with the environment I'm working and for the environment I'm working. Second is Karta, the doer. Sometimes the place is very good, but the doer doesn't fit well within the place. So there is a change either of the place or the doer. You may have experienced this in our classes when we give one work to one student. We think, oh, we need to change this person. Why? Because the karta doesn't match the work. So karta is very important. It should match with the actual objective of that work. The third is karanam. Karanam are the tools. What tools we have taken up? Our tools match with the requirement. If it is an analytical research, are we doing empirical research? If it is a comparative research, are we going for historical research? What is our karanam? What is our tool that is needed for the right research? So, Adhishthan, Karta, Karanam. These three aspects we need to be very careful. The fourth is Prathak Vidham Vividhashcha Prathak Cheshta. This is one phrase. That means one way of doing things is not enough. Reading one book, drawing one conclusion, going to one library, Google out to only one source of study. Prathak Vidam, we have to choose multiple ways. Vividhashcha Prathak Cheshta, and our effort should also be multiple. We just can't depend only once, then it will be a failure. And one failure should not make us stop. One failed result cannot stop us. So we need to choose different tools, different ways, different modalities, different types of work cultures, and our effort should be keep on changing to match the result. And then suppose it is 100%, then 20% adhishthan, 20% karta, 20% karanam, 20% multi ways of achieving success. Then the last 20%, Krishna says, is daivam, bhagya. So this doesn't make us fatalist, but it is also about the planetary pull, our positioning, our staying at that place. Sometimes we say, वो समय ही ठीक नहीं था. So we can't say that everything is समय based or time based, but it has to place the right connections about all the other elements. And then if we ensure all the 5 elements, then only there will be success. I am not talking much about the success, sorry, the topics. I am talking much about the modalities, because research is a methodology. Don't miss the word methodology. If we miss the word methodology, then there will be many, many misunderstandings and we can't do the research well. For example, I'm giving you this example from Natya Shastra. We all know that Natya Shastra is known for Ras or Bhav. Now, the moment I say Natya Shastra, our science friends, they say, friends from the science faculties, they would say, what we have to do with Natya Shastra? It's okay. For Sanskrit people, it is fine. For philosophy, it is fine. For people who are studying Kala, it is okay because it is a Saundarya Shastra. It is the aesthetics treatise. No, Natya Shastra is a treatise which primarily deals with medical sciences, sound engineering, which deals with what I would say anatomy, which deals with civil engineering, and aesthetics is a byproduct. And that is why I have picked up this shloka from Natya Shastra, which says, "Na tat jnanam, na tat shilpam." Gyan, shilp is the sculpture, na sa vidya, na sa kala, na sa yogo, na tat karma, natya asmin yanna drishyate. There is no gyan or shilp or vidya or kala or yoga or karma which is not found in Natya Shastra. Now, when we go into a theater, we call it Rangashala. Now, who has created that stage? Do you think an author has created the stage, or the actors have created the stage, or the musicians, or a this a script writer? We need a civil engineer to create that Rangashala, to make that. Unless and until there is a theater, we cannot perform anything. Similarly, it talks about dhvani. It talks about the intonations. It talks about the sound, which is nothing but sound engineering, because about 10 years back in physics, there was a Nobel Prize. And in that Nobel Prize, the main crux of this study was whatever we say, it never gets die. It is always there in the atmosphere. And suppose we draw and put them into a same frequency, all those sounds, we can actually rehear what has been told earlier. Now, the scientists from Germany got the Nobel Prize out of it. If we read Mahabharat, and when Bhishma is just taking a prayan, he is on the Sharshaya. And this is not, I have concocted something. You can read actually the Mahabharat, where Bhishma is taking a leave from the world, talks to the Krishna and say, "Can you show me the Vishwaroop?" And Krishna shows the Vishwaroop. And at that time, Bhishma sings a stuti for the Vishwaroop of Krishna. Now, Kauravas are there, Pandavas are there, everyone is there. And then after the stuti, they all realized, oh, what a beautiful stuti it was. And we have not, memorized it. We have lost it. And at that time, Sahadev, he collects all the sound from the atmosphere, arranges them, and the scripture he makes out of those sound is known as Vishnu Sahasranam. Now, Vishnu Sahasranam, with this methodology, is being told in Mahabharat, and then we get a Nobel Prize now, 10 years ago, on the same methodology, on the same discovery, on the same research. And just because we disconnect ourselves from the methodologies, we don't understand that whatever we could have known earlier, we are still away from that sort of knowledge. This again is a very, very scientific, I would say, shloka, which looks very much, part of the aesthetics. Yato hasto tato drishti tato manah tato bhava tato rasa. Wherever we are using our hands, our eyes should look at that. Wherever we look at where the eyes are looking, our heart should also be synced with our drishti. Wherever our heart is, there we have emotions, and wherever our emotions is there, tato rasa. Rasa is life. Life can only be there. Now, can we transform it into a scientific reality? Because when you go to a counselor, when you go to a medical scientist, when you go to a doctor, they say concentrate. And the methods of concentration is this only, that wherever, whatever work you are doing, your entire physiology, your entire anatomy, your entire psychosomatic state should be at that point. The spiritualists call it meditation, the doctors call it concentration, the aesthetics call it rasa or jivan. But can we take out our own content and do the research, that if we don't have this, then what can be the results out of it? And that result is not a simple result. We have seen how social media, it diverts our attention, how the elements in the society, they divert our entire attention, and how today out of this, because they can take everything away but our attention at one side, how our students are becoming markets, how new markets are coming up, because they have been able to break our entire entity. So that is why knowing that how we should go ahead and study the societies, studies the mentalities, studies the outcome, how this is hampering the sustainability or symphony in the society. That is why I've written this shloka. Okay, then one is, I'll take the last one out of it, and that is Chatushtay Anubandh. Okay, I'll stop sharing this, but then let me talk about Chatushtay Anubandh. Chatushtay Anubandh is where there are four things, and these four things are, there is an Anubandh, there is a contract, and contract is when we join the karta, the researcher, with the subject. Now, I cannot join myself with the subject just because I want to do research. I have to be the adhikari. Adhikari means, suppose I want to do a research on physics, then I should be the student of physics. I should be aware about the theories of physics. I can't study market without being a student of market management or management studies. So I have to be adhikari. And the last is nirnay, takparya nirnay. The last is the result. If I still insist that no, I can do research and whatever I want, and who are you to stop me with that? Then I have to prove that I am the real adhikari to understand that research. So this is one type of methodology discussion I would like to present. Now, the another type of methodology is that what type of methodologies we were using since beginning. Now, you will say that we don't find any documentation on that. Fine, we don't have a documentation, but we have scriptures, we have text, and you and me, we keep on writing many texts. We are the authors. Even if not text, then we write the research papers. See how many corrections do we do in that. If the same research paper I study or I reread or I revisit, again I would find so many shortcomings. Sometimes I become angry. I say, oh my God, what I've written, this was so nonsense. And then I rewrite it. Sometimes I make corrections. Sometimes there is proofreading mistake. So many revisions are there. Have you ever thought what wonderfully edited our scriptures are? Forget about revisions. We can't even change a small comma, a small viram or paragraph or shlok or doha or chopai. They are all mostly in metrical. Now, whenever we write something metrical, every time something hits us and we say, okay, this word should be here and then it sounds better, or this word can be removed, or this can be added. But see these scriptures, they are the world's best edited text. If they are the world's best edited text, so much so that no one can make any corrections, that means there was a methodology. That means they were writing and rewriting and revisions and everything was there, because when they were written, there were no printing press. When they were written, they were writing on the tamrapatra. They were writing on the patra made by trees, made by cloth, made by earthen pots, made by inscriptions on the iron walls. So our base was something which could not be rubbed and rewritten. Whatever we have written once is forever. And that is what when we do researches on inscriptions, when we do researches on sculptures, when we do researches on the monuments, on the maybe, the Ashok Stambha or Sachi Stupa or the towers or whatever we can see. So we find they are the visual texts, they are the textual texts, they are the oral text. So all the senses are included into that. Now, suppose we go and see Qutub Minar. What type of a story we can do in our research? Can we call it only a visual research material, or there has to be something written and then we write? So what I mean to say is that to study these legacies, we need a different methodology, the same methodology which was used to build them. Today, first we have to go to that terminology, that vocabulary, that methodology with which they were created. And then only we can do research on that. For example, the students of literature, they know what is an elegy. Now, elegy is a poem which is written to mourn someone, to praise someone after the death. Suppose I go to one Shaheed Smarak, would not you call it a visual elegy? Because there is nothing written over there, but the moment you saw, you become sad. It is a poetry. Example is Taj Mahal. You can say it's a visual elegy, and then you can give the symbols, then you can add the adjectives, then you can add the extended meanings out of it, and that is how the sustainable cultures remain. The study of sustainability into culture is very, very important, because our culture belongs to two natures. One is Sthavar and one is Jangam. What is Sthavar? Sthavar is static. It doesn't move. So we have Sthavar Tirth. Sthavar Tirth means any place of worship where we have a building or where we have a destination which never changes. That is Sthavar Tirth. And Jangam Tirth is like a yatra, like nadi, like the rituals in the forest, where you have to move from places to places. And here I will quote Kumbh. The Kumbh is the largest cultural entity for India. You will ask why? Because it's an epitome of inclusivity. What is it including? It is including the science of building civilization. What is it building? We all go to the Kumbh when Kumbh has started. But can you go to the Kumbh 10 days before, 15 days before? I have gone there twice and I have seen an entire city being created. Entire city is created. Places to reside, the roads, shops, eateries, places for enjoyments, special paths, special ghat, special facilities, transportations, banks, another financial services, so many things you see. Every day you find two new things have been built up. So a city is built up where 40 crore people come without any invitation. No one gives them any invitation. They come and they go, they come and they go. And at the end, that entire city vanishes within next 10 days. It includes everyone. People from all walk of life come. So can we pick up one entity and say, okay, what is the role of females in the protection of these type of cultural existences of our civilization? What is the role of women dharmas? What is the role of akhadas? What is the role of spiritual leaders? What is the role of these hoteliers and tent makers and people who make? So there are so many angles. What I want to say is that The moment we leave society out, we can never do any research on sustainability in the institutions. The institutions have to go back to the society. It's not other way around that society will send their topics to us in our department and say, do research on this and give us the solutions. We have to make a study of the problems. We have to study the problems not in our departments, but right there in the society, bring this problem back to the study rooms, have conferences, have symposium, have brainstormings, which are the modalities of research, part of research methodology, come to some brainstorming words and then deal with the words to bring out the solutions to that society. Then only it would be cross-cutting issues can be handled in the environment, in the societies. I would take a small break here. If you have questions, I would really happy to answer that.
Respected Madam Ji, the way you introduced the topic has caused a spellbound impact on all of us. The use of nativism is worth considerable. विद्वत्वं च नृपत्वं च नैव तुल्यं कदाचनं स्वदेशे पूज्यते राजा विद्वान सर्वत्र पूज्यते. We understood the quotation given by Sanskrit scriptures and the use of nativism is very important. When we talk about the topic sustainable development, one discipline, as you rightly noted, is not sufficient. It is like organic unity in a living body. But nowadays, there is a fashion that unfortunately few scholars consider that economic growth is generally all-round development. But fortunately or unfortunately, they are neglecting the welfare economics as developed by M.K. Gandhi and the Nobel laureate Professor Amartya Sen. What is the role of welfare economics? It is also highlighted in our constitution. This is my first question. And second precise question is, what is the impact of NEP 2020 on the concept of sustainable development in the field of humanities, commerce, and science? The request ball is in your sublime court, please. Professor
Thank you
Dr.
so
Neeraj
much.
Gupta, ma'am.
Thank you, Professor Balaji Navleji, for this question. The first part is that what do we mean by sustainable development? Why only the economic development is called to be the development and the other quotients are not called the development? That is only because we have equated the development to our image of developed countries, which are making us more and more isolated. I give you a small example. The West has been, or West forget West, US has been able to actually give their values to us, and we are now living a life with their values. I give you this example. We all have this, right? A mobile, a smartphone. We all have a smartphone. Now look at it. What do we have in the smartphone? Why do we need a smartphone? Because we have our email accounts, we have our social media accounts, we have our WhatsApp in this, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. Now, what are the values in that? The values is this is my phone, my account, my password, and my wall. This has brought in such an isolation in the society that even a small child says, this is my, where our concept is ours. Our home doesn't have one TV in one room. This is a typical materialistic society. You break the family of four into four houses. So each one will buy one TV, one fridge, one car, one two-wheeler. So materialistic society will grow. That is the reason they want more of the nuclear family and less of the joint family. The joint family is for sharing. The joint family is the sustainable development because you share the resources. You don't have to have 4 buckets of water and then waste half a bucket from each water. You have to have one well and take out whatever you want. So when we call a sustainable development is only economic development, very soon we have to worry for this model of development, because no individual can live forever. And what we are leaving is the dried sources for the future. And that is why environmental protection has become such a big issue with the West. With us, we are living an ecological friendly life. For example, whenever we cross a water body, we throw coins into it. What is the reason we throw coins into it? Today, the coins are made up of gillet. We should not throw those coins. But when this tradition is started, the coins were made of gold, silver, and copper. All these things have water cleaning objects. In some lab, in some laboratory, in some gurukul, in some ashram, they found out that these metals are water cleaning objects. So what we do, wherever we find a water body, we throw the coin, which I'm using this much water, so I have a reason to clean this much water. So my coins will keep cleaning that water. It's a cyclic tradition. It's a cyclic, sustainable civilization we all have. We are saving the people tree. Why? Because people is the only tree which gives us the oxygen for 24 hours. I give you a very interesting example. Now Navratri are coming. In entire country, we celebrate Navratri. There are 4 Navratris, 2 are public Navratri. One in October, one in March, April. Why only 2 Navratris for public Navratri? Have you ever thought? The 2 Navratri, because we are an agricultural society, we have 2 major crops. The 2 major crops, the new crop we sow only when we take out the old crop. So what do we do in Navratri? We take a mitti ka ghada, the pitcher, and in that pitcher we put holes. We put the mitti into it, the soil, and then we sow it, the new seeds into it. For 9 nights, we keep that pitcher like that, what we call Norata. This is done in each house. Then on 9th day, we see how long is that crop. And then on 10th day, we take it to the temple. So this village has this much of Norta, this has less Norta, that doesn't have any Norta. What are we doing? This is our indigenous soil testing system. Each house is testing the soil. How will be my new crop next year? And 10th day, the king will judge, okay, this village may have drought, so I have to put less taxes here. This has a very good crop anticipation. I can put more taxes over there. So twice we had New Year, once in Chaitra and one in Ashwin, because the king revises the taxations twice a year. Isn't it scientific? Isn't it the sustainable development? So sustainable development doesn't come by making the roads. Sustainable development is by connecting ourselves with the culture, living the culture sustainably so that it keeps our society intact. Now, the second question, what is the impact of NEP on sustainable development? The very first thing our NEP says is connect back to Matribhasha. Why? Because today the kid is speaking a language which Dada Dadi doesn't understand. And Dada Dadi speak a language which the kid doesn't want to talk. If they don't connect, from where the sustainability will connect? The first thing is our language. We should never be ashamed of teaching and speaking and studying our own language, at least till fifth or sixth standard. Once we are thorough with the terminologies, with the just few days back I told one share in a class. I said, uh, एक पुराना खत खोला अनजाने में, खुशबू जैसे लोग मिले अफसानों में. Then one boy stood up and said, ma'am, what is khat? I said, you will never find out the khat, because we used to write the khat, we would post it, we would wait for the reply. When the reply comes without even opening, you would, touch it, you would feel it, you would feel the happiness. So that whole emotion is khat. Unless and until we connect with that, how would we sustain with our own culture? So NEP has done the best thing, connect us back to the Matribhasha. Second is IKS. IKS is not Sanskrit scriptures. IKS is not Puratan Panthi. IKS is the modern view based on the background of our own knowledge systems, which are so very poignant, the pragmatic thing. So I think the NEP is, if we are ready to accept, the problem with the teachers is the teachers themselves have not accepted NEP that well as it should have been. But I am very optimistic. NEP is definitely going to connect us to our dream of sustainability.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the perfect answers. Thank you.
If you have any more answers, you may please put forth.
Hello.
Ji.
Yes. Can I have a question, ma'am?
Yes, please. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I wasn't present throughout your lecture, ma'am, but at the end part of your lecture, I listened few things. So my humble question to you is that in order to have a sustainable development, what would be your views about Lord Buddha's view that it's samyak jnana prajnashil karuna in order to make the sustainable development in India?
Correct. So,
Yes, ma'am.
see, Buddha was part of that society which really needed a balance, because many things were, one thing is in abundance and the another part was totally neglected. So when Buddha talks about the samyak, the middle path, he is also talking about the cause and effect. The samyakta, in today's concept, can I tell you, the absence of war is not peace. Just because there is no war, I can't say there is peace. So for peace, what do we want? For peace, we want harmony. For peace, we want symphony. From where the harmony comes? The harmony would come when everything is in balance, when there is no weight of abundance on one side and then the lacuna on the other side. So when Buddha talks about the samyak path, samyak buddhi, samyak drishti, samyak gyan, he is talking of that middle path which is so much required by the society, where we meet haves with the have-nots, where we make a bridge of I and don't become the wall. So there is a cause and there is a effect. If on one side we praise abundance, maybe the abundance of development or abundance, it has a cost to play. And that cost only we need to cut down. That is what Buddha says, that what do we mean by samyak is that middle path which is good for any society, because eccentricity is going to bring reactions. One eccentricity will of course cause the lacuna on the other side. That is what I understand what Buddha says.
Yes, ma'am. Very
Thank
nice
you, ma'am.
answer.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank
Okay, sir.
you.
Yes, please, Dr. Pradhan.
Yeah, the last, ma'am, like concluding that uh, I won't ask a very personal question on this situation, the present situation in India. So, regarding the Lord Buddha's Samyak Marg, would you like to share your views that how much the balance in the society, how much the downtrodden and the backward people are getting in the mainstream by present system, institute, government? What would you like to say with this, ma'am?
Right. So I have a very clear view. They are not getting the way they should be. They need more help. They need more hand holding. They need more, trust and belief. And it is the other part of the society who has to bring it that. That is one part of reality. But the other part of reality is that this gap is being exploited by the politicians. We as teachers, we can actually sensitize the society. We can actually sensitize our classes. We can actually sensitize the people who are suffering, that see, we are here. We are not someone who is above you. This is only a political way. As a true teacher, sir, I feel it is our duty to come to the society, to go to the society, hold the hand and give them the trust. Like I would quote, like Baba Ambedkar was actually given that trust only. And then nothing is isolated, sir. If we don't look into the people who need help, then tomorrow we would be vanished. It is all interdependency. This is a complete ecosystem. We have to grow horizontally. We cannot keep on growing vertically. If we want only vertical growth, then one day this tower will topple down. We need to have to come to one four and then move together. And my humble request to the politicians are that please let teachers do their own jobs. Teachers are there to teach the society. Don't try to teach the society something which is beyond the books. And books are best read by these sensitive teachers only. My very frank answer to you, sir.
Great answer, ma'am. Very scholarly answer. Thank you very much, ma'am. Yes.
Respected Madam Ji, I will just add a footnote in the form of a question.
Please, sir. Please,
Sustainable
sir.
development is associated with balanced economy, green literature, green humanities, green science, green chemistry, and whatnot. Fortunately or coincidentally, the master of ceremony of the said FIP is a renowned lady teacher, anchorer, and the keynote address is none other than a perfect synthesis of scholarship and humanity. Professor, Honorable Professor Dr. Nirja Gupta ma'am. As Dr. Pradhan asked, what is the position of women in the path of the growth and development of India? Because still we are facing the situation. Once upon a time, Virginia Woolf highlighted in a critical essay, Shakespeare's sister. We have not that much counterpart. What is the place of women in the field of humanities, commerce, and science? It is not, I understand that it should not be an essay type question. Precisely answer where we stand. It is hand in
Thank you,
hand,
sir.
parallel or not.
Right. Thank you so much. Sir, I feel it's not that bad. I feel that we have really moved very fast looking into the part of our past, pre-independence times, looking into what we have suffered in last 75, 77 years, sir. We have seen a very fast pace as we see for the girls. Why the desiredness is not completed, I would say, why we still feel these incidents are happening. They are, of course, there, but our visibility is very low, sir. The more we are shown more, the more we come out of our so-called academic kitchens, that women are for teacher, women are for nursing, the more we break these academic kitchens, I am sure our visibility will improve. But sir, at the same time, I'm not taking credits to our generation at all. To bring us to here, our previous generation has really, really fought well. Now we are lagging behind in fighting that, sir. We have to fight for the future generation. That effort should come from us. Instead of blaming the society, we have to improve the society. So the crux of the thing is, instead of paying more attention to girls in our houses, we should pay more attention to boys. And that is to be done by us only, sir. The moment we do this, you will find a better society and secure society.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you, madam. Thank you for your insightful and illuminating presentation. It gave us an abundance of knowledge and information going back to our cultural root and connecting us with the present condition. It was a real pleasure listening to you, madam, and thank you for your patience and lucid manner of handling the discussion. I would now like to propose the vote of thanks. On behalf of Lions Club of Malad Borivali College Charity Trust, Prahlad Rai Dalmia Lions College of Commerce and Economics, Mumbai, and Rajmata Jijau Mahavidyalaya, Kille Dharur, Research Foundation of India, New Delhi, and National Institute of Foreign Trade, Mumbai, I extend my heartfelt gratitude first and foremost to Honorable Professor Dr. Neerja Gupta, Vice Chancellor of Gujarat University, for having graced our faculty development program with an esteemed presence and rendered the keynote address. Your valuable time and insights have immensely enriched our understanding of the research process. We are truly honored to have had the opportunity to engage in a meaningful dialogue with such an esteemed personality. I would like to express our deepest appreciation to the patrons and members of the management of Praladrai Dalmi Alliance College of Commerce and Economics, Mumbai, and Rajmata Jijau Mahavidyalaya, who have stood strong with us in all our endeavors. We thank Research Foundation of India, New Delhi, and National Institute of Foreign Trade, Mumbai, for collaborating with us, and a special note of appreciation towards Dr. Ajay Jain, National Coordinator of Research Foundation of India, and Professor Vikas Pandey, Executive Director of National Institute of Foreign Trade, Mumbai. A special appreciation and gratitude to Professor Dr. D.N. Ganjewar, Principal of Praladrai Dalmi Alliance College of Commerce and Economics, Mumbai, and Dr. G.K. Kakade, Principal of MSP Mandal's Rajmata Jijau Mahavidyalaya, Kille Dharur. Your guidance and encouragement are instrumental in steering our institutions towards excellence. I thank Professor Dr. Balaji Navle, convener of this FDP, and Dr. L.B. Jadhavar, IQAC coordinator, Vice Principals Dr. Madhvi Ligoskar and Mr. Bashni Naikar, Dr. M.N. Gaikwad, and Mr. M.A. Jogade for their unstinting support. My heartfelt thanks go to all the members of the organizing committee, faculty members, administrative staff, technical team, and student volunteers whose collective efforts and dedication have contributed positively towards this faculty development program. They have and will be working hard to ensure the smooth conduct of this FDP. I thank all participants of the faculty development program for their active participation, and we assure you that each one will definitely be enriched in numerous ways in the coming 8 days. Thank you, one and all. A kind request to everyone, kindly switch on your video. We will have a small photo session. I request the technical team to kindly take the screenshots.
Yes, ma'am.
Done?
Just a minute. It's done, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. I now request all of you to kindly stand for the national anthem. I request the technical team to play the national anthem.
Yes, ma'am.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
Thank you.
Thank you. I request all the participants to kindly fill the feedback form. The link will be posted in the chat box. Participants, please note that all should compulsory fill this form. Thank you once again. Good night. God bless you all.
Thank you.
Shall I stop the recording, Emilia ma'am?
Yes, please. Thank you, Aditi ma'am.
Okay, thank you.